Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you very much for joining me. I have a fun project planned for us today. I hope this video inspires you to create something of your own. If you would, hit the like button and share the video with your friends. That helps me to grow this channel and to continue to bring you new projects. If you haven't subscribed yet, would you please consider subscribing? And if you have, thank you very much. Well, we have a lot to do, so let's get to it. Hi, it's Jamie with Jamie's Arts a la Cartes. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you being here. Well, I want 3 of these. So I'm going to deconstruct this one. And I just fixed this one and touched up all the lemons. But I'm going to deconstruct it because I want to make 3. I got 3 outside doors. And so I like the little lemon look. So I've got more. I bought a whole bunch at a sale. I've got all kinds of flowers. So I'm going to deconstruct this. I wasn't able to find any more of this buffalo check. So I went with a thinner ribbon in a different color. Right? I have a good hunk of this left, and I do have some burlap still. But I'm going to deconstruct this so that I can make all the pieces sort of flow from one to the other so they all kind of match. But we're going to go with an orange gingham for our accent, and I think that'll look pretty. That'll look pretty with the yellow lemons. And then I have some limes in this bag. The people had limes also, so how fun. All right, let's start working on getting this apart so I see what we have. So I've got some Dollar Tree things here. We've got some 3 frames. I'm going to not use this frame because I'm going to use these 3 because they're the exact same diameter as each other. All right, how about that? Just never know what we're going to do. We're going to take it apart so we can rebuild it, make it bigger, make it stronger. No. Anyways, we are going to see how we can pull this apart and how we can salvage these pieces so we can use them again. And there'll be some glue left behind, there'll be some pieces left behind, and that's okay, right? Let's see how that's coming apart. I'm going to go ahead and get my scissors so that I can go ahead and just help this to come apart a little bit. And we'll glue at the same spot so you'll never ever see it. And that will be that. All right, we got 2 of the bases covered. I divided up that old burlap and then used a little bit from the new roll, hoping that there's enough for this last frame, our 3rd frame. And I got these from the Dollar Tree. Alright, so all I did was take a regular pipe cleaner chenille stem and cut them in half. And then basically I want to have one in the center and then one here and one here. Try to get it even. Gives me the best chance of being able to twist around the burlap, and then two down here. After I do this, then I will divide out all the greenery, see what we have, make sure we got enough, and then just sort of go from there, right? The greenery, the big lemons. I think I want to put a few limes on here, and then a few limes, and then add lemons. Right, I have lots of lemons now. So basically I'm just pleating this burlap, which means just gathering it, creating a small little poof, and then attaching it to the frame with this chenille stem. When I get it here, I'm doing a pretty tight twist right there, and here we're at the end. So I want to tuck this back behind. So just something like that. And I'll go back and I can adjust now that I know that I've got enough. Same thing. Alright, it's time to get the glue gun out. I'm going to go find some other greenery, and then we'll come back and we will start putting our greenery on our frames. How about that?
On the scene when John Walsh's body was found. We believe we have some information that you might find useful.
And what may that be?
Have you determined a cause of death?
I thought you were here to give me information, not seek it. Boyle,
I disagree, sir.
you are near the city coroner. You don't have half the experience that I do. My post-mortem is conclusive. Hey, don't touch that. His belongings are being held for his brother. Leave them be.
I apologize.
Did you consider the injuries on his head and his hands?
The body was found near a marina. It had been in the water for some time. Did you consider that it may have knocked against rocks and boats and all manner of things?
May I see the body?
Alright, here's our next wreath. After I got the burlap put on the frame, then I put the greenery on, saving back a few pieces to fill in at the very end. But then I go from large to small adding stuff. So for this wreath, the next thing we want to do is add the larger of the flowers. and our eucalyptus. So I'm going to get these cut apart, and then we'll get these added on there. Alright, we're down to the last wreath. So something, not sure if I showed you on the other two, but the tails on this pipe cleaner, I'm just creating a little base while twisting it down and securing that twist on that pipe cleaner. But it also gives me a little landing spot for glue. Just twist, 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 and then flatten it. And then just to fluff, literally just fluffing. And then here's my two ends. So that looks pretty good. First thing I do is divide out my greenery. Alright, so a big green here, and just sort it out by like kinds so that I can space them evenly around the wreath. Probably let that be the bottom. And space those out. Got some shorter ones. Got two different flowers. Got the lavender and the eucalyptus. And I'll get out some lemons when we get to that point. But looking for these. Okay. So that's where we will start. And I try to have things going out and in from the frame. And you can see that, but you won't at the end. And I just give it a general coating of glue and then lay it down. And see how it covers the frame just even doing that. Okay. Alright, then I'll use these just to fill in. Again, we'll probably let this be the bottom. All right, so there's the base so far. All right. All right, so now I want to fill in with some leaves. Pull off this little mounting piece. I literally, just to get the most bang out of my buck here, I'm going to cut my leaves. There's 3 petals. I'm going to make it into single petals. And I'll do that with all of these that have this nice little orangey color on here, which will play off my flowers. Pull this apart. There we go. Okay. Gives us a pretty full bow. All right. Progress. Now we have all these little bits and bobbles. We are going to still go from large to small. Let's look at what we have. Okay. Here and here. there it is on the table. So we've created 3 that are not identical but similar, right? We used up a whole bunch of stash. Got those few items from that market that I had went to. I love going to those. You never know what you're going to find. What treasures you're going to find. But there we are. So what I'll do is I'll hang them up and I'll get you some pictures, and we'll do any last minute adjustments, but I think this is pretty much it. So I took a wire frame, covered it in burlap, and then just started adding bits and baubles to it. Had this welcome a ribbon, right? So just pull some in and out. Pulled the burlap look forward, and there we are. I'm just really pleased with how these turned out. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, like it, share it with your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, would you please consider subscribing? And I'm going to go get these hung on the door and get you some final pictures. But until next time, happy crafting. Ooh, this was a labor of love, but I really like how they turned out. Okay, until next time, y'all.